Ron Rivera of the Carolina Panthers was let go, fired, whatever you want to say, after 9 seasons as head coach with the team. He went 76, 63, and 1 in those 9 seasons, had 3 winning seasons, and obviously the highlight of his tenure there was the 15-1 year where they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So, Storm, what's your reaction to this? Do you think this was the right move for the Panthers right now?
Not right now. I think they should have waited till the end of the season to fire him. I think it's a little disrespectful for Ron Rivera for how much he's done for that franchise, how much he's turning them around. I know they didn't always look pretty, but he did a lot for them as a whole. And I do understand the new owner didn't really have ties to him, this and that, but I still think it's disrespectful. That guy gave a lot of his time, a lot of his energy, his family's down there now. Yeah, I was a little upset with the way it was handled. We knew it was coming, I think, at the end of the year. But, yeah. For right now, I think it was a little too soon.
Yeah, I also don't love firing a veteran head coach midseason. Like you said, he's been there for 9 years now. You would think that they would at least let him play it out, particularly because for a while this season, he was exceeding expectations with Kyle Allen after obviously Cam Newton went down with that injury, and it looked like their season was totally lost. And they really were in the playoff hunt for a little while. I know they've lost, 5 of 6 now.
Yeah.
Hasn't looked pretty, but right. I agree with you. I would prefer them wait to the end of the season, but I do kind of get it. I think the new owner, David Tepper, he knows that they're going into a new direction. And after that loss to Washington, they lost 29-21. Really ugly game. I think that was just an excuse for him to say, all right, let's just start the process now. It gives us a bit of a jump on starting to look for head coaches. Candidates out there know that we're going to be a destination. So I do get it from that perspective. Also, I want to say, if I wasn't sure before, which I thought I was, but if I wasn't, I'm definitely sure Cam is gone now.
He has to be.
Absolutely. Ron Rivera was kind of that last ally in the building. And once again, it looks like this team is trying to go in a whole new direction now. Rebuild around Christian McCaffrey, those young wide receivers, and then obviously, hopefully, develop Kyle Allen.
Cam, I saw Cam's actually getting surgery on his foot this week, too, which was about, 15 weeks too late there?
Yeah, and I get it. He wanted to give himself a chance to come back, but now, obviously, season's lost. The team's moving on. Makes sense to get the surgery and try and be right for the 2020 season. Now, the Panthers, I forget, their interim head coach is, let me get this right.
Fuel.
Perry Fuel, exactly, who was their secondaries coach. And I don't know if Tepper's going to give him a shot to kind of prove himself in these last couple of weeks. I don't think so, because it seems like Tepper wants more of an offensive mind in there in Carolina, at least based off of the recent remarks that he made post moving on from Rivera. But we'll see. But what candidates do you think would be a good fill or a good fit with this Carolina team?
Yeah, I mean, so part of me thought was like, well, what if Carolina does decide to keep Cam Newton, right? We think he's all gone.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gone. I don't think that there's
what's
any
a coach that might come in and coach Cam Newton if they want to keep
Greg
Cam
Roman.
Newton? And that's my choice, Greg Roman. And I think even if they don't keep Cam, they still could bring him. I mean, I don't even know if Kyle Allen's really the answer there. I feel like if a new coach is going to come in and if he doesn't like Kyle Allen, he's going to draft his guy in round 1. You know, you have Tua, you have Herbert, you have,
Yeah,
Burrows,
I don't know if Carolina's going to be bad enough to get a blue chip draft piece, but I get it. A coach may come in and not be sold on Kyle Allen, undrafted free agent.
So they might go looking around. So Greg Roman's one, Matt Rule potentially out of Baylor. Everybody,
he's been
obviously,
talk.
of course, to Lincoln Riley's a hot name, but who knows if he's going to leave. Those are my 3 right now that I think are candidates for them.
Yeah, so I thought about Greg Roman initially as well, but I don't think Cam Newton's going to stick around, and I don't think if they do decide to stick with Kyle Allen, that obviously Greg Roman's offensive style isn't really suited to the type of quarterback he is. So I thought about some of the same names you did as well. I thought Lincoln Riley. I thought Rule. Right now, Jim Harbaugh is actually the Vegas odds-on favorite to get the job, which is odd, I think. I think
well,
he's going to stick
should
around
get
Michigan.
fired from Michigan. So
no, we'll talk. We're going to digress a bit, but he hasn't been that bad at Michigan.
Beat Ohio State. That's
he's been better than most of the guys that they have. I know, beat Ohio State, but Ohio State's on a pretty historic run.
Yeah, but he hasn't beaten them.
Anyway, so Harbaugh's the favorite. The name that kind of came to my head, though, was, especially if you're going to keep Kyle Allen, is Mike McCarthy. I get it if Tepper wants to go in like a really new and exciting way, follow the wave of hiring like a young coach. Obviously, McCarthy's not the guy. But I think McCarthy could be like a solid transition piece. The team isn't terrible right now, so it's not like they're in total rebuilding mode. Plus, McCarthy has shown that he can develop quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers turned out all right.
Oh, yeah.
And although they didn't really vibe towards the end of it, he clearly developed him enough to be where he's been considered one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the league for quite some time. And
right.
I'm not saying Kyle Allen is going to be Aaron Rodgers or even has the potential to be, but I think Mike McCarthy could be a decent fit there.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy is a good one. I didn't even think about him. I mean, it's tough right now because you're thinking of all the coordinators that might have potential, like a Greg Roman, probably someone from San Fran. I mean,
yeah, I know
Salas
was obviously a candidate as well, but once again, another defensive guy, and I think they're going to go with an offensive guy.
Exactly.
But yeah, I didn't get a chance to look into all the possible candidates too much. Like, obviously, I don't know every single offensive coordinator in the league or what these guys are going to decide to do at the end of the season. But it'll be interesting because, like I said, Carolina is not a team that's totally broken.
No, they're not. There's some good players on that team right now.
Yeah, so we'll see what direction the new owner wants to go in. Obviously, that direction did not include Ron Rivera, who I still think is a pretty capable coach. Do you see him landing a head coaching job next season?
I do. I actually do think someone's going to give him a chance. I think it could be someone like a Dallas, like a New York Giants, because I'm pretty sure they're both moving on from their head coaches. I would be shocked if he didn't get a head coach, but boy, I would love to see him as a DC in Philly, or anybody really for that matter. I would love to see him as DC. There's ties there with Doug Peterson from the Andy Reid era, obviously, because he was, I think he was a linebackers coach or something in Philly. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't remember. Regardless, something like that. But yeah, I think he's going to be a head coach somewhere. You look at the two obvious spots that are moving on for sure, and that's Dallas and New York.
Yeah, I think he will wind up with a head coaching job as well. If not, at the very least, he'll be a DC somewhere and a damn good one. Any team would be lucky to get him as a defensive coordinator. But I originally had thought Dallas as well, but he does not seem like the type of personality that Jerry Jones wants as a head coach. Seems a little too independent for Jerry Jones' liking, not a yes man. So I moved on from that.
But maybe Jerry Jones needs to move on from that, which he should.
He should, but do you really think he's going to?
No, I don't. But if he was smart, he would.
I actually think Greg Roman's a better fit in Dallas than Rivera.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because I think with Dak, he kind of gives you a more dynamic player. They'll run the ball first team. But once again, we're digressing. Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you. The Giants, I think, would be a really good fit, as well as the Falcons. I think
that's a good one.
Being in division, I think he's familiar enough with the team. He walks into that locker room. Once again, a team that looked broken this year, but you look at the talent, and it's like there are a couple pieces on defense and just a good string, good luck with health away from being back in the playoffs, I believe. But yeah, you walk in and you have an established coach that can kind of pick that team up. Once again, not have to worry about rebuilding from the ground up. And then also Washington, although I don't know why he would want to coach in Washington. I think Washington would be happy to take him.